This has quietly become one of the most fashionable objects in fitness. Athletes use it, influencers film it, gyms now sell access to it. And there is decent evidence it is canceling part of the workout you just did. Not because it fails, because it works exactly as advertised. To see the problem, start with why anyone gets in there at all. The reasoning behind cold water genuinely does sound airtight. Training damages muscle. That is not a metaphor. It is literally true. That damage triggers inflammation, and inflammation is what makes you sore. So reduce the inflammation, reduce the soreness, and recover faster. Every step in that chain sounds correct. One of them is not. The flaw is not in the conclusion, it is buried in the second step. Inflammation is not the damage. Inflammation is the repair crew arriving. It is not the fire. It is the fire brigade showing up to the scene. And the entire growth process rides on the back of that response. 3 things switch on, and all 3 of them need that signal. Satellite cells wake up, the dormant repair cells sitting beside your fibers. A pathway called mTOR switches on, which is the master growth signal. And your cells start building the machinery that makes new protein. So now put that entire process into water at 10 degrees Celsius. Suppress the inflammation, and you suppress the instruction to grow. That is the theory. So researchers went and tested it properly. In 2020, one team measured protein synthesis directly after cold exposure. Cold water 20 minutes after training suppressed it for up to 5 hours. 5 hours of your body being told to stand down after you trained. But an acute measurement is not the same as a long-term result. So in 2015, a team ran the whole thing across 12 weeks of training. Published in the Journal of Physiology, it looked at what actually changed. Satellite cell activity was suppressed in the cold water group. The mTOR growth signaling was reduced, and strength gains were blunted. And these were not brief effects that faded after an hour or two. Changes persisted for up to 48 hours after a single cold session. One study is never enough, though, so here is the independent replication. In 2019, researchers tracked 16 men across 7 weeks of training. Half sat in 10-degree water for 15 minutes after every single session. The other half simply sat in room temperature water instead. Muscle fiber growth in the cold group came out measurably blunted. The authors wrote their conclusion about as plainly as scientists ever do. Cold water immersion should be avoided if muscle growth is the goal. Though that same study found something genuinely inconsistent too. Fiber size was blunted, but maximal strength was not affected at all. So in 2024, a meta-analysis pooled everything the field had produced. Its title alone tells you where it landed, throwing cold water on muscle growth. But the single most revealing finding came from a different analysis entirely. It covered 470 athletes and split the results by what was being measured. Strength was impaired, 1 rep max, isometric force, and explosive power. Endurance performance showed essentially no effect whatsoever. And that split is the most persuasive detail in this entire field. A general recovery penalty would drag down absolutely everything equally. This one does not. It targets the growth pathways specifically. Now the caveats, because this is where most videos on this get careless. Cold water blunts muscle growth. It does not prevent muscle growth. Every cold group in these studies still built muscle, just measurably less. And there is one detail every single one of these studies shares. They all applied the cold water within about 20 minutes of finishing. But muscle stays sensitive to growth signals for well over 24 hours, which suggests waiting several hours might reduce the interference considerably. Except nobody has actually tested that, so it stays a hypothesis. Delaying it might remove the cost, or it might simply move the cost. And for some athletes, this whole trade is genuinely worth making. If you are competing 3 days running, recovery beats adaptation every time. You are not trying to grow that week, you are trying to show up tomorrow. So the ice bath was never failing you. It works exactly as promised. It shuts down inflammation quickly and effectively, exactly as designed. The problem is that shutting that down is the thing you went to the gym to start. So do you cold plunge after lifting? Tell me below and subscribe for more honest breakdowns like this.